Hey everybody, Doomsday Dom here, and I'm here to show you. I just bought this new thing in the mail. It's a vertical garden tower. It was inexpensive, about, I think, Katia, how much was this?
The whole thing was
$50. So I don't know if you can get them for cheaper, but it's a vertical garden tower on Amazon. They have different types from different companies, so this isn't any type of product placement type of thing, but basically this video is to show you guys how to quickly install it, why I brought the one I bought, and for the reasons, you know, according to my garden and my crops. So stay tuned. So like I said before, this is a video on to how properly to install your garden tower, and then, you know, sow it with your crops. So basically what I'm gonna do, I always had a pre-mix. I've been showing this in many videos. It's a mix that I made mixing some store-bought garden soil and some home composting mix that I, you know, kind of generated myself. So what I'm gonna do is add that to each of these containers, these sections, because the soil that I have, I mean the seedlings that I have their own soil with them. Like, I'm not going to separate the plants from the potting soil that they have. You never do that. You try to, you know, basically disturb the roots the least when you're trying to transplant. So try to do that as much as you can. Now the question is, what am I going to plant here? I'm just going to ask Katia because I don't know. Hey Kat, what's on the first level? There's the first three bottom. What are we putting?
It doesn't matter. It's whatever you think we should put where. Maybe put whatever needs the least sun at the bottom and whatever needs the most sun at the top.
That is a good point. So I don't know if you guys heard that. We decided on a different. We're trying to work together to see which, where we want to plant certain things. But as you heard, she said it's a good idea to plant what you think needs the least amount of sun on the bottom and the most amount of sun at the top. Overall, I do have a shade garden, so most of my things do well in the shade. But what I'm going to do is plant this kale. I'm going to put maybe... So I sped up the video for you guys so you don't have to watch me ramble and plant at the same time. So basically I ended up transplanting my kale into the system. Step one is to make sure that there's like a bottom layer of soil. You don't want to just put it in with no bottom layer. Also, when you're you know, transplanting, make sure you cover all the roots with soil. Make sure there's no roots being exposed. And also, as you add on each layer, just make sure you don't damage the leaves, because it's very easy for the leaves to get trapped underneath there. But one of the key things I noticed as I was installing my plants was that the containers that they came in really helped. So for example, before I had styrofoam, and the styrofoam was really getting in the way, breaking apart into the soil. But right here with the spinach, I have a plastic tray, which, you know, boom, I squeeze the bottom, I plop them in, and it's relatively easy. So just when you're buying plants, going to the nursery, just look into you getting, I think plastic is better than styrofoam because they're more durable. You can reuse them. Styrofoam is kind of, I mean, is worse than plastic in my opinion. There's some biodegradable plastics out there that you can try to source your stuff from, or use compostable trays, but that's just my preference. And I just felt like when you're using them, the functionality of, you know, the plastic was just easier. So yeah, like I said, with these ones I started covering up the soil, up the roots. Well, with the soil, you don't want any exposed roots because that can easily damage your transplanted plant. You don't want to do that. And make sure that, you know, as you're transplanting, you just try to make sure everything is level. and ended up changing the angle here because my tower ended up getting really high. Mine stacks, I think, about 4 stacks high. And as I finished up with the transplanting, I ended up trying to water everything, getting those roots to really get moistened and connected with the soil. So what happens at this part of the transplant, you want to make sure that your roots are activated, and you activate those roots by watering them in the new soil, and that way you're ending up you're sending those hormones to the roots and saying, okay, it's okay to start getting used to your new environment. Because let's say you were to transplant without watering, those roots, they're gonna be, first of all, stressed and looking for nutrition and moisture, and if they don't have that, those tips will tend to dry and die off. So you want to make sure you provide a moist environment for your plant to get used to, especially if it's going to go under such a stressful predicament such as transplanting. As you can see here, because it's a vertical garden tower, I'm making sure I'm watering every single area, like every unit. Some of them I planted 2 by 2, some of them 3 by 3. At the very top, I mixed up the kale and the spinach because it was a lot. I was running out of space, and I was trying to test the limits of the vertical garden tower. I picked just like a sunny corner that I have on my balcony. The best thing about this unit is that it spins. As you can see, I'm turning it often, and it's very light. I mean, over time, I guess it will get heavy as things begin to mature, but it won't get that heavy, and it's pretty sturdy. As you see here, I'm cleaning up because I'm trying to be a little bit, I'm respecting the space. My girlfriend to get muddy feet when she comes out here. So like I said, as you can see, very easy to move around. The cleanup, as you can see, is really fast. After I did the transplanting, didn't take up that much space, and voila, the garden tower worked wonders for us. It was such a great addition to our balcony garden. Very versatile, very easy to deal with during the change in seasons. As you can see, it's still early spring, and everything grew perfectly. I fully harvested my spinach as the summer carried on because I just found that it was better to harvest that crop that way. But I left my kale by simply harvesting the more mature leaves, leaving the younger leaves behind, and then harvesting them later, which is a strategy of just having more of a sustainable harvest. In the place of the spinach, I put lettuce, and I put these purple flowers. These are edible flowers that have a little lemony zest to them. I will put the description of those plants down below as well. But yeah, it's just one of those units. I found that it was very useful for me. I hope it's useful for you guys. The link will be in the description below. Another tip that I would like to share with you guys is to always utilize the plant identification cards that they give you in the plant store. They will help when you have very, confusing units such as this one. Rest in peace, Empinard, aka spinach. And I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I hope you guys are encouraged to grow by units like this for those people who don't have that much space. And stay safe, guys. Wash your hands, wash your face, wash your booty. And I love you. And thanks for watching. Ciao. So this is what I mean by it's important to pull back leaves. If you open this up, there's just so many in here, Like, look at that. 1, 2. I'm trying to zoom better. Look at that guy. He's trying to crawl away. But there's so many in these leaves. I don't want to damage the leaf. But you peel away at these leaves, they're going to be there. So I'm going to do another rinse before I do the treatment step.